do you think Bobby Kennedy and Elon Musk will be influential figures, without being specific about what those roles will be, in your administration?
Yeah, I do. I think so. Look, Bobby, let's talk two of them. Elon's so good. You know where he is right now? He's in Pennsylvania campaigning for me. Elon. That rocket ship, right? No, it's so great. He docked that big monster, 22 stories. I thought the sucker was going to be done. It's a very crazy story. I mean, I saw it coming in on television. I was talking to I told the story tonight, but I thought it was I'm talking to this very important guy, not as important as Tucker, but important. A big shot. Somebody everybody would know. Talking to him, I'm bored, stiff. He's a boring guy.
Who is he?
So anyway, no, I'm talking to this very big shot, important guy, and I have the television muted. This thing's going on. The whole thing was really boring. Then I see this monster thing coming down. I see fire all over, fire left, right, and I'm looking. I'm saying, "Hey, could you hold it a minute?" Yeah, sure. I said, "Yeah, I just want to see something." I put the phone down. I sort of forgot, and I didn't pick him up for like 50 minutes, and 5-0. And you know what? Because of the fact that I was president, and I very well might be president again, he held on the whole time. Can you believe it? But it's true. I picked the phone up. I say, "Oh, shit, the phone. Hello? Hello?" He goes, "Hello?" The poor guy. But I had to see this. And I turn it on. I see now you have to understand, it left. I saw it leave, and it was beautiful white paint. Now it's coming down, and it's just dark brown. It's coming down at 10,000 miles an hour or something. I think it's 10,000. It's coming down at levels of speed that nobody ever even conceived of. And it's all burned and where it's rough. But it's coming, and now it's turned around. It turns around. And you have the gantry, the big, beautiful gantry. And it's coming, and it's going to, I said, "Oh, it's going to crash," because you see at that bottom, this section right here, that sucker's, I'm going, "Come on, baby. Come on." And I didn't know, actually, if I'm watching a science fiction movie or am I watching the news. I didn't know what the hell I'm watching. But I see this thing coming down, and all of a sudden it's going into the big steel gantry up here. It goes, the thing's like 20 stories tall too. It's going to crash. I said, "Oh shit, it's going to crash." Coming down. And the lower section, right, it's coming right, it's ready. And then all of a sudden, fire, flames come pouring out of the lower section. It's jets. And they're pushing it over right here. And then it comes down. And I'm saying, is that the coolest thing you've ever seen, right? Is that the coolest? If you don't think I want a guy like that working for us, so, we've got to cherish our brilliant people. They don't treat him right. We've got to cherish our brilliant people because we don't have too many of them. Nobody does. Nobody does.
For 35 years, Liberty Safe has been the #1 manufacturer of safes made in this country, American made, from start to finish. They make high-quality gun safes. I've got one. Vault doors, home safes, handgun vaults, whatever you need to protect the things you value. And again, I can tell you from personal experience, these guys know what they're doing. I use Liberty safes for the things that I don't want stolen, the things that really matter. My father's shotguns, the documents that I've got to have, and a lot more. I'm not going to tell you what else, but you need one. Crime rates are way up. And if you have anything you would like to protect, that you need to protect, Liberty Safes is the way to do it. Now, Liberty Safe has over 350 dealers nationwide who specialize in delivery and installation and answering any questions you have. If you've got something to protect, they've got a way to protect it. Visit libertysafe.com, pick out what you need, and be sure to use the code Tucker at checkout to let them know that we sent you. They'll take care of the rest. Liberty Safe is a product we fervently believe in. With Liberty Safe, you are always protected.
Elon, talk Elon first. Elon wants to, by the way, I'm having a great time up here. Are you having a good time? This guy, is he the greatest interviewer? He asked me one little question. I talked for 20 minutes, and they're going to say he's better than Larry King at his prime, right?
It's an easy job.
Is that the greatest?
You're an easy interview.
He is great at what he does. There's few like him, I will tell you that. So with Elon, here's a theory, and he's right, that there's unbelievable waste and fraud. Like, I saved much more than $1 billion when I came into the White House in one day when I said I'm not going to pay that much to Boeing for Air Force One. And they ended up taking much more than $1 billion off the price. It took about a couple of weeks, saying I'm not buying it. No, I don't want it. But there's a plane that you're saving much more than $1 billion. And you've got thousands of things like that. Not as much, and in some cases much more. They're building an aircraft carrier, the Gerald Ford. The thing came in like at $20 billion for a boat, $20 billion. And it doesn't work because they decided to use electric catapults that throws the planes off instead of steam. They decided to go electric. Why are they people that going all electric? By the way, I'd end the electric mandate on cars day one. You should have electric, but you got to have gasoline. You got to have everything. That'll come off on day one. Many things will be done on day one. Your head will spin when you see what's going to happen, the stupidity. But what I like about Elon, Elon's a great cost cutter. And Elon thinks he can cut the costs of our government by $2 trillion. Think of it. That's the entire deficit, because it's now at a level. By the way, we have the biggest deficit we've ever had under this stupid group of people. But he thinks he can cut $2 trillion without affecting anybody, just through, and I think he can do that. I do. I believe that. And that's really what he wants to do. He doesn't want to work. He doesn't want to become a secretary of something. I'd love to have him, to be honest with you. But he doesn't want to. He's doing a couple of other things, like rocket ships. He sends, Tucker, he sends 92% of the rockets that go up are his rockets. Think of that. Russia, China, and us, 92% are him. And he's the only one. I asked him, I said, are you the only one that can do that? He's the only one that can land it like that. And he said it'll be years before they can do it. He's a great guy. He wants to cut costs. That's what he wants to do. He wants to save the country. He said that if Trump doesn't get elected, the country is finished because, he understands me. And I understand. I got to know him a little bit in the White House, but much more so over the last few months. He endorsed me. He gave me an endorsement that was so beautiful. He said, if Trump doesn't win, I think this country is finished. He's worried about the country. He's worried about it. He thinks he can save $2 trillion, in which case we don't have a deficit. The whole thing would be $2 trillion a year, by the way, a year. And I will definitely, now, Bobby is great. The only thing I'm a little bit worried about with Bobby, so I want him to work on health, and I think there's nobody like it. I think he's right with so much of the things he's talking about, because, we're not a healthy country. If you look at some of the countries in Europe, they're much more healthy than us. We're a rich country. We got to get rid of a little debt, but that's okay. I've typically been very good at that. I've been very proficient at that. I've had it both ways. I've had a lot of debt, and I've had very little debt. And as you get older, having very little debt is much better, believe me. But you know what? He really wants to, with the pesticides and all the different things. I said he can do it. He can do anything he wants. He wants to look at the vaccines. He wants everything. I think it's great. The only thing I say to Bobby is, leave the liquid gold under our feet alone. We want to have a little gasoline. Because you know what I'm going to do? We're going to unleash much of that. And we're going to, Germany tried to go all green and they almost destroyed their country. And that was the end of Angela, by the way. That was it for Angela. They went all green. They had windmills all over the place. And the wind stopped blowing for a couple of weeks. And that was almost the end of Germany, actually. But the only thing, and I say it jokingly, but I say, Bobby, I love you looking at health. I want you to take care of the women of this country, the men of this country, and the children of this country. You don't have to worry about anybody else. But the one thing you got to do for me, Bobby, is leave what's under my feet, the oil and gas. You leave that to me, Bobby, because we're gonna make so much damn money, and it's clean. It's gonna make it clean.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. We hope you'll subscribe to it. And by the way, you can hit the little bell on there and get notifications every time we produce a video. We hope you'll do that also.